Anna Kasparian has had the decency on a recent TYT live stream to come out here and admit that she got that one wrong. So you ready to take a look at this, Zach? Pretty satisfying to see.
100%.
All right, back on TYT, Cenk and Anna with you guys. More news.
So I just want to address something. I was wrong about Project 2025. MAGA hates Project 2025, and I thought that Donald Trump actually cared about his base.
And by the way, before we watch that again, because it's so funny, you know, I just don't agree with that assertion that MAGA hates Project 2025. I remember right after Donald Trump was elected, there was a viral tweet from Matt Walsh saying, now that the election is over, I think we can finally say that, yeah, actually, Project 2025 is the agenda. LOL.
In this clip from the awesome people over at the Vanguard, Anna Kasparian of TYT, yes, the same TYT that loves pretending they're the only serious news outlet on YouTube, has come out and admitted she was wrong. And not just any mistake, no, she totally botched her take on Project 2025. Now, if you don't know, this is the big policy plan everyone on the left has been melting down about. And Anna, she thought MAGA hated it. Watching the awkward dynamic between her and Cenk Uygur as she owns up to this mistake while he tries to act like he was totally right all along, it's classic TYT. So let's just get into this clip where the Vanguard will be giving their opinion, and of course, I'll be adding mine as well.
And I saw this sentiment all over the place. You know, a bunch of people that were like, we might have pretended to disagree with Project 2025 for 5 seconds. But yeah, no, that's the plan. That's the project. Hell yeah, get ready. Again, Matt Walsh is a MAGA conservative. I don't know what this distinction she's drawing is, but that seemed pretty indicative of the response to me.
Yeah, and also pretty crazy to be like, oh, JD Vance isn't MAGA, as we mentioned earlier. Here's an article where you can read 5 key excerpts from JD Vance's foreword to Project 2025 Leaders book. Okay, MAGA does love Project 2025. Elon Musk is probably the most MAGA Doge-coded guy on planet Earth. He came in and did exactly what Project 2025 was discussing. Like, I don't know if you guys think that Project 2025 is like amorphous. We wake up in the last stage of the Third Reich. Okay, but that wasn't what we were talking about. We were talking about the slow erosion of civil liberties that will continue to accelerate over time exponentially, and we want to nip them in the bud as early as possible. Okay, and guess what? That's all been borne out into reality.
Yeah, and just the incredible, the swift, you know, dismantling of our government, which has not been slow at all. I mean, it's like 2 weeks in, and it's just been a wrecking ball already. So,
and it'll only get worse.
And that was 100% the plan of Project 2025.
Because in this
either way, let's go back just a few seconds so we can hear this again in all of its glory.
And also, really quickly, because Chad's bitching. Guys, I meant slow. Like, do you think it can get worse from here? You guys think this is it? Yeah. Buckle up. More shit is going to come crumbling the fuck down if we don't mobilize. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, back on TYT, Cenk and Anna with you guys. More news.
So I just want to address something. I was wrong about Project 2025. MAGA hates Project 2025, and I thought that Donald Trump actually cared about his base because in his first term, he seemed to be swayed by his base. He seemed to listen to his base. This time around, not so much. So Russell Vought, as the head of the Office of Management and Budget, and considering what he just did with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, makes it abundantly clear to me that they are implementing Project 2025. So I will admit when I'm wrong, I was wrong. I totally predicted incorrectly what would happen with Project 2025.
So a couple of people wrote in about it. And first of all, Anna and I had a little bit of a disagreement.
And again, like Zach and I also, you know, we've made some predictions that haven't come true. Don't get me wrong.
Kamala was gonna win.
It's not about that. Yeah, like you know, we misjudged. We thought Kamala Harris was gonna win. We put a little bit too much faith in our fellow countrymen, apparently. But this was obvious. Like this was obvious. This is like, you know, like your fucking political commentary card should be revoked if you can't see this one.
Agreement about that on the show. So that's what we do on this show. We do honest conversation, and sometimes, a lot of times we agree, sometimes we disagree. So I'm saying me and Anna.
Oh yeah, honest conversation. That's rich coming from TYT. Disagreeing at TYT is like playing with fire. They pretend to have these big open debates, but the second someone challenges the groupthink too much, they get labeled a problem. I mean, an example of this is if you remember when Jimmy Dore was on TYT, back when he was actually allowed to criticize Democrats without getting the death stare from Anna and Cenk. That didn't last long. The guy pushed back on Russiangate, called out the Democratic establishment, and poof, suddenly he wasn't welcome anymore. Or what about when Anna got ratioed for her crime bill tweet? She suddenly realized that maybe, just maybe, the progressives' left's soft on crime policies were making things worse. What happened next? The leftist Twitter mob turned on her instantly, and instead of sticking to her guns, she had to go on this weird backtracking tour just to keep her standing in the progressive bubble. So when Cenk says, oh, we disagree all of the time, yeah, technically, but you can't actually hold a dissenting opinion for too long before the pressure forces you to either conform or walk out the door. That's not open discussion, that's tribalism. And now we're watching the same dynamic play out with Anna in real time. She's realizing she got Project 2025 completely wrong, and instead of just letting her take the L and move on, Cenk is doing what he always does, making sure he still comes out on top. You can almost see the power balance shifting. It's like watching a political hostage negotiation. I mean, TYT loves to paint itself as this intellectually honest, fearless, progressive show, but to be honest, it's a glorified echo chamber where any real disagreement comes with a price. And Anna, she's just the latest person to realize that.
Me and Anna and many of the other hosts disagree often, right? And that's what you do when you're in a normal conversation. And by the way, we do not get entrenched into positions and never get out of them for the sake of ego or anything along those lines. Our job is to be as honest with you as humanly possible. So I love that Anna just said that. She had a reason for thinking that. She explained it on the show. I didn't buy exactly what those guys were saying, and she didn't buy exactly what they were saying. Right?
Bro, it's like Cenk's like, here's the bus. Get in front of it, Anna. I'm throwing you right under the bus, pancake style. As you demonstrated at the beginning of this live stream, I thought Cenk was going to come in with some fiery pushback when she was downplaying Project 2025. But during the clip that they sat next to each other, he basically was like, well, actually, I think you're right. It's going to be this less bad version of Project 2025. Meanwhile, now Anna has the courage, as he's putting it, to come out and say that. And what's he doing? He's pretending like he was right all along because he's a fucking bastard.
Right? But she thought there was a chance for the reasons she just stated, because of his base, etc. Well, and by the way, then I turned to MAGA and said, guys, you said you were against Project 2025, and now they are implementing.
No, they didn't.
So you just heard what Anna said, which I think is, the right way to go about it. So
I mean,
I'm curious whether anybody in the MAGA base is going to go, yeah, Russell Vought was the author of Project 2025. And he did say to cut the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, et cetera. And remember one more thing, Russell Vaught's from the Heritage Foundation. Project 2025 is from the Heritage Foundation. That is not a populist think tank at all.
It is not, no,
it's
traditional.
Purely corporate think tank.
Yes, it is a.
Now you're critical of them.
You want to think about like the Liz Cheneys and the Bushes and like that brand of republicanism. That's what the Heritage Foundation is. So I understand.
It's all the same, Anna. It is all the same. JD Vance writes the intro to the Heritage Foundation's book. Heritage Foundation bankrolls Donald Trump. Donald Trump is still fucking, Mitch McConnell can put all of his performative resistance votes he wants. That guy, Donald Trump, they're all on the same team. They're fighting for the same mission. This phony war in the Republican Party is Fugazi. All they wanted was Elon Musk to go in there with the sledgehammer, and that's exactly what they did. We hadn't even brought up the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, one of the really important things that the American public has gotten since the 2008 financial crash. It's one of the few feathers in the cap of Elizabeth Warren that'll give her, even though she's a snake in the grass. And now that's probably kaput now. And addition to all of the other things. And instead of rallying the troops and being like, yeah, guys, this is a serious threat, we're going to use our 6 million subscribers to do something about it, they were like, no, guys, don't worry. Just watch the Young Turks, send us some memberships, and everything will be fine.
I mean, this right here is the biggest tell about what TYT has become. They have a massive platform, 6 million subscribers, endless hours of content, and the ability to actually influence political movements. But do they ever do anything with that power? Do they organize protests, push serious activism, encourage their audience to take real-world steps to combat the policies they claim to be so outraged about? No, completely no. Instead, they funnel every single political issue into a marketing campaign for memberships and super chats. They don't want real solutions because if these problems actually got fixed, TYT wouldn't have anything to rant about. I mean, this is the fundamental problem with progressive media today. It's become a business model, not a movement. The left used to be about direct action, about changing policies, about challenging power. Now, it's just about keeping people angry enough to tune in for the next live stream. And this Project 2025 meltdown is the perfect example. TYT isn't mobilizing their base to do anything about it. They're just keeping the outrage cycle running because outrage equals revenue. And Anna, whether she realizes it or not, it's starting to break out of that system. She's starting to break out of that system. She's admitting fault, something TYT almost never does, and she's actually thinking for herself for once. And that's why Cenk is scrambling. TYT needs its hosts to stay in line. Because if Anna keeps questioning things, if she keeps admitting when she's wrong, if she keeps changing her mind, well, that might just force the audience to start thinking for themselves too. And of course, TYT cannot have that. That's my unfiltered opinion, so what's the real takeaway here? Anna Kasparian, I think, did something rare. She admitted she was wrong. But I guess look at how that played out. And instead of a simple, yeah, I messed up and moving on, it turned into this weird, awkward moment where Cenk had to reframe the entire situation to keep himself looking like the smartest guy in the room. Again, that's my opinion. As always, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Down in the comments below, let me know your thoughts. If you agree with the points that I made, if you agree with the points that the Vanguard made, or if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. Be sure to give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.